each of the main four characters led up to the premiere of Volume 1 in July 2013. Comprised of 16 episodes, or chapters rather, this volume was interesting. Since Rooster Teeth wasn't sure of how the show would perform, given how drastically different it was from RT's other shows, RWBY had a relatively low budget, and as such, most episodes were only 4 to 7 minutes in length, including the intro and credits. The longest an episode ever got was 15 minutes. I got into RWBY while I was a sophomore in high school. A friend told me about it, and I fell in love with it immediately. This was also right before Volume 2 premiered, so I was able to binge Volume 1 in its entirety rather than have to watch it week to week.
The first time that I saw this volume was actually after you had pushed me to watch it, and Volume 3 had ended that year, so I had to binge all the way through and fall in love with some of these characters, only to have them ripped away from me in the same short time span. You monster.
Somehow, you mad wolves
did.
Try this. I'm not sure.
Like a fool, I agree.
Now, on to grading. Our first topic to tackle here is plot. Volume 1, honestly, had very little plot. The first half is all about introducing the main characters and building team formations, and while it does rely on a lot of stale tropes, and most characters aren't as interesting as they are later in the show, I still really enjoyed it. The second half is where my issues really take place. This should have been all about Team RWBY finding their initial dynamic, but RWBY and Way's struggles are solved incredibly quickly. Not to mention, Blake doesn't get any time to shine till her backstory appears out of the blue in the finale, and Yang has nothing. They don't even fight together in the last two episodes. That should have been the real proof they'd become a functioning unit. Don't even get me started on that goddamn Jean plot. Oh, that was a struggle to get through. While it was nice to see Piero try to encourage Jean, Cardin and his lackeys are barely worth any attention. I have no issue with the show trying to develop the supporting cast, but the main characters should take priority, and clearly they didn't in Volume 1. Volume 1's plot suffers from a lack of direction and structure, and as such, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10.
It had a very simple, somewhat tropey plot. The show itself seemed to be playing a comedy the whole volume, but to me that seemed to clash with the tone that the trailers were setting up. The trailers had hyped a super serious action thing, while the show had cool action with comedy surrounding it and only kind of mild sense of danger. There wasn't anything bad, but also not much great. So kind of meh. I give plot an overall 5 out of 10.
I'd say our scores are pretty even, and I do agree that the tone is weird. I don't mind the comedy they sprinkled in, except that the show really doesn't know how to build up a proper threat. It's not like in Avatar The Last Airbender where the comedy is naturally woven, but there's still a legitimate threat to follow. Don't even get me started on the Grimm being cannon fodder.
I mean, what else would cannon fodder be? It seems they were setting up Grimm to be somewhat like different Grimm have different levels of difficulty to defeat, with the most common being those wolf things and the least common being like...
But yeah, our scores average out to 4. Not terrible, just in the middle. A little less than perfectly center.
Who let the damn dragon in?
Are you profiling?
I'll forget it. Now we get into the lore. This will not only encompass the world building of the show, but also how well it's handled, meaning not well at all.
The way lore will be graded will allow an exposition-heavy volume to get a good grade as long as the exposition is woven into the story, or at least backed up in some way visually somewhere within the volume. However, post-Volume 3, the World of Remnant shorts do make the exposition take a hit on principle, because most exposition is repeating what we presumably learned there, and you don't release those as bonus content if you don't expect fans to watch it and draw upon that information later. And since you went first last time, I think Volume 1 was very clunky and lazy with its written exposition, and even where it can be handled well, it isn't. Some of the things that are told to us by a student in show would make more sense if they were being taught in the school. Some kids who took the entrance exam might not have their semblance, so at the very least explaining it might make sense. But if we go in with the assumption that it's ingrained in the culture of the world, then the characters don't need this exposition, definitely not from other students. That kind of monotonous bullshit makes more sense appearing as a lesson in a classroom. But when we're told, like, sometimes it is shown, it was a mess. A hot mess. 3 out of 10.
Oh boy, do I have a lot to say. First off, that speech Piero gave to Jean on Aura, yeah, it's quotable and it sounds nice. Here's the problem though. It doesn't tell us anything. We have no idea how Aura practically works, how it's engaged, nor its impact on semblance. Not to mention the way Pierre talks about unlocking Aura. It sounds like everyone can do this. So why isn't everyone a huntsman? The show should have established that most people don't have enough aura to really matter, and even of those who do unlock it, not all discover their semblances. Next, the Faunus. The show tells us about